I'm sharpening my sapper skills and the skills.
Alright, we just get started.
Back to the range house. This is the halfway point.
Yes. Yes, sir. The Kool-Aid has been drank.
Weapons slung in front of you.
Should have gave me like 5 minutes for my arms to stop being daily on. I'm proud of you. Thank you, sir. Thanks for coming out and putting out and representing.
Congratulations.
Charter of the company ATSB, congratulations. Thanks. Congratulations. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you, sir.
Sapper Peterson. Sapper Stewart.
Stuart, I know this means a lot to you, all right? So congratulations. You keep doing well. Keep pushing yourself. Thanks, all right? Being out here, thank you for completing the score. Doesn't mean you didn't learn something or you didn't become a better sapper. Good to go? Sure. So congratulations to everybody. I'm proud. Yeah, we got to get a shot now. He's like 6'4".
Corporal Bromgen. In an intense field training exercise that reinforces the use of battle drills and specialized engineer techniques learned throughout the course. An 80-hour final exercise and 3 live fire demolition ranges. The staff NCO officer in charge of engineering training area 9 and 10 is Master Sergeant Hobbs and Gunner Sergeant Barr. The instructor is directly responsible for the leadership development of Class 1 TAC 20R. The chief instructor is Corporal Holderfield.
I'd like to thank the leadership from the other units that took time out of their busy schedule to come out here and support your Marines and understand that. And you guys did and all the things that goes into it, the logistics, and across the and we think about what that prep time is and what that prep time's for, and that prep time's for combat. Several iterations of this course, and really watch this course as it's developed since the time of Caesar, expecting no nonsense and allowing none. And Marine leaders, again, this is the Sapper Leaders course, and Marine leaders had never lost sight of their primary and their only mission, which was to fight. They learned kind of what a tough job you have. So across the board, this is how we win as an organization and as a unit. So thank you very much.
He was chosen for outstanding leadership and overall performance. The honor graduate is Corporal Bettleson from Charlie Company, 2nd Combat Engineer Battalion. From Charlie Company, 2nd Combat Engineer Battalion, Corporal John Little was nominated by his peers as the gung-ho recipient for his outstanding leadership and esprit de corps. Graduates will be congratulated by Lieutenant Colonel McCall. Please hold your applause. Lance Corporal Base. From Bromgen. Corporal McDaniel Ramirez. The class honor graduate will now dismiss the Sapper Leaders course class. Attend.
Regardless of available assets, my flexibility is. I will set the example by keeping myself physically fit and mentally tough. I will strive to sharpen my sapper skills and the skills of those I support. Sappers lead the way! Class.
My name is Master Sergeant Hobbs. I'm the ETA 9 and 10 Staff NCOIC here at 2nd Combat Engineer Battalion. Sapper Leader course is an 18 evolution that consists of 2 phases. An academic phase of 8 days where they're doing practical application, written tests, and examinations while learning different subjects in mobility, counter-mobility, and survivability. And then the second phase is their field portion with 3 live fire ranges, and where they're tested on everything they learned in the previous week through different evaluations. So Sapper Leaders course is designed around things that the NCOs in the combat engineer field should already have learned or know, and it's just a confirmation of their training through live fire exercise, written tests, and various examinations. I think a lot of the sappers have a hard time prepping for the course, so it kicks off with a 12-mile ruck run, and that's a challenging portion of it. It's also a lot of academic stuff that is crammed into 8 days, which usually some of those courses can take up to 3 weeks to usually teach, like the urban mobility breaching. The other struggle is that we have 4 different units here, so some of the guys are on different learning skills or levels, or they're performing a different combat engineering task at their various units. The reason this course is more important for the combat engineer NCOs is because it challenges them and pushes them past their limits mentally and physically, where they don't usually get to do that when they're in their platoons. It puts them amongst their peers where they're having to compete, they're having to challenge themselves, they're having to work in an environment where they don't know what their score is, what they're being rated as. There's no rank when you're in Sapper's course, and it's important because we're giving them tools and we're giving them ways of conducting things that they can go back to their commanders and advise them on all things about mobility, counter-mobility, and survivability. Sapper Leader course translates to combat because everything they do there is mission-oriented or critical time-based, and it also allows them to develop critical thinking skills that are needed on the battlefield. They can go back to the group, wing, or division and be able to provide those commanders with the skills that they learn here and advise them on how to employ engineers. Come to Sapper Leaders course. It's tough, it's challenging, and that's exactly what you need to become a good NCO in the engineer community.
Corporal Jolly Little, 2nd CB, Fire Team Leader, Charlie Company, 1st Platoon, gung-ho recipient for Sapper Class 1 TAC 20. My definition of Sapper course is basically a stress-induced environment to apply the skills that you have in a more tactical environment rather than going out in regular platoon events. It's a little bit higher paced and higher level of training. Expectations, honestly, just to kind of have that higher stress put on me, see how I react. That's really it. I didn't really expect too much other than that. Hardest part of the course, honestly, was interacting with my peers, because we're all coming from different units. We all have different ideas. We're taught different things. So trying to apply the baseline or basic tactics that we have as engineers, just from different aspects and different point of views. The best thing I got from the course, honestly, was like I just spoke about, the different ideas coming together, different ways of attacking tasks and completing tasks and different missions. That was probably the best aspect of it for me. I think the big thing is the high intensity, high tempo training. Like, you go from one day you can be doing recon to the next day you're setting up ambushes. So you're getting a lot of different points of views. It's more realistic because when you're actually in war or in a battle, you never know what your mission could be. So being flexible and being adaptable. You get kind of the stressors, you get somebody in your face kind of applying the stress, and then, having to execute, in an acceptable manner so that you actually meet the standard. And then learning to be flexible, learning to be adaptable, and then working with other people that you may not be so comfortable with. Keep a positive attitude. It's gonna suck at times. Just push through. Be a motivator. I know everybody uses that word leisurely, but when you see somebody's down, that's when you need to pick them up. Don't be the guy that starts all loud and then finishes quiet. Be the guy that's consistent. For me, I think what it was kind of what I just said. Like, everybody kind of likes to be loud at the beginning and talk a big game or whatever. Not necessarily in an arrogant manner, but they try to portray that supporting. That's what gung-ho to me is somebody who can support when the struggle comes. So I think just following through when people were having a tough time, being there to kind of push them through.
Corporal Logan Vedelson, 2nd CEB, Charlie Company, 1st Platoon, 2nd Squad Leader, and I received the Honor Grad Award. Sapper's Leader course is basically a test of how well you can lead when put in a position of that of your peers. It also helps you understand how different minds from different areas come together, and it's not just you making all the decisions, it's a group effort. It's a good training event. One thing I learned in the Marine Corps is never have expectations, just go in, see what happens. People are gonna hype it up, hype it down, whatever they do, just go in, full head of steam, try your best, honestly. I mean, it was demanding physically and mentally. It's hard to get peers to come together when everybody's a corporal and you're used to leading junior Marines. But it was all right. I enjoyed the course. It was a good time. The most out of the course was honestly being in a stress-induced environment and being able to piece together, like say, an op order or how to do certain types of engineering when they need be, and being able to think on your feet was the biggest thing, I think. This course is definitely a lot more physically demanding and a lot more stress-induced, and I think that is the biggest thing. It puts you in a situation you're not normally in, therefore making it harder to make quick decisions and educated decisions that are best for your Marines. So I think that's the biggest thing, different than any other course or training that I've went through personally, at least. So again, I've never been to combat, but if I were to say anything, it'd be the thinking on your feet while being sleep deprived, physically demanded of, and continually pushing on, therefore making it harder on the body and mind, but still being able to follow through with your actions. The biggest thing would be coming into the course not blind to it. Honestly, study. You should know most of your job before you go into this course. It's not a learning course, it's a course to enhance what you already know. And that's a big thing I think that a lot of people misunderstand, is they think they can go to this course and learn everything there. But in all honesty, you need to go in knowing at least a good majority of your job and take away little tidbits, and I think that's what helped me a lot. Study up and make sure you're in shape. Put on a couple extra pounds, because you'll lose a couple extra pounds on the course.